Alright, here we are with our next episode of Grand Theft Auto 2. And now we have the results. So your challenge was to play music notes on a piano. Let's see how you guys did. SpongeBob, your results was a 4 out of 5. So we were ranking you guys from 1 to 5. I forgot to mention that. Whoops. But yeah, you got a 4 out of 5. You did pretty good, but there were just a couple notes that you missed. But other than that, I think you did a great job. All right, Patrick, you got a 1 out of 5. You didn't even play the piano. You were instead licking the piano like it was a lollipop. Disgusting. Squidward, 3 out of 5. You did alright, but I can tell that you're more of a clarinet kind of person, but it's a piano challenge, not a clarinet challenge. But other than that, you weren't as bad. You were decently average. Sandy, 2 out of 5. I understand you're more of like a guitar player or a banjo player. But like I said, this is a piano challenge. And unfortunately, yours was pretty bad. At least you did play the piano. Unlike Patrick, who decided to just lick the piano. So, I gotta say, not as bad. Dora, 3 out of 5. Decently average, not bad. Boots, 2 out of 5. I wish we could have seen a little bit more from you. Diego, 1 out of 5. I never really got to see much piano from you. Leonardo, 1 out of 5. You didn't even bother to play it. Donatello, 5 out of 5. You were able to play it and were the best piano player so far. Good job. Raphael, 1 out of 5. You also didn't bother to do it. Mikey, 1 out of 5. You were eating pizza instead of playing piano. Oops. I did not mean to zoom in or out. April, 1 out of 5. Didn't really see you play piano. Millie, 5 out of 5. You were an excellent piano player. Geo, 4 out of 5. Almost great, but there were some mistakes you did make. Cosmo, 3 out of 5. You were decently average. Wanda, 1 out of 5. You were horrible. Fanboy, 1 out of 5. 5. You were playing piano, however, you were playing with your nose. You were supposed to play with your fingers, not with your nose. Chum Chum, 1 out of 5. You did the exact same thing Fanboy did, so same score. Gil, 4 out of 5. You were pretty great. Molly, 5 out of 5. You were excellent. Blue, 3 out of 5. Decently average, not bad. Meng Meng, 2 out of 5. It was kind of bad, but I can give you credit, though. You did at least try something good. Little Bill, 3 out of 5. Not bad, just decently average. Jimmy, 1 out of 5. I don't know what you were doing, but not a good piano player. And then Aang, 3 out of 5. Decently average, not bad. Okay, so it's obviously the people who got 1 out of 5s, which were Patrick, Diego, Leonardo, Raphael, Mikey, April, Fanboy, Chum Chum, Wanda, and Jimmy. Therefore, one of you guys will be going home tonight. So I'm going to lower it down because there were some people that I really did not appreciate their piano works. So here is who is in danger of going home tonight. Patrick, Mikey, Fanboy, Chum Chum. You guys are in danger of going home tonight. Also, I forgot to mention April also would have been in danger of going home tonight, but however though hers was not as bad as the others. So, Patrick, Mikey, Fanboy, and Chum Chum, you four are the people who should be worried of going home tonight. But I want you guys to give me one reason why you think you should stay. And Patrick, we'll start with you.
Well, I should still be here because I want to be with SpongeBob for the most part, and Squidward and Sandy. That's why I want to still be here.
Patrick, you were supposed to play the piano, not lick it like it's some tasty treat.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. Because you're dumb as a rock. Mikey, you were eating pizza while trying to play piano, and yet you dropped the pizza on the piano. That's why you had a very low score. Why do you think you should stay in Grand Theft Auto? Well, I'm sorry. I get hungry sometimes, and sometimes. So what do you think you expect? A food eating challenge? I mean, if there is a food eating challenge, I would for sure dominate it, and then I wouldn't have to be in the situation again. Yeah. Except today was not an eating challenge. So you just had to screw yourself up. Fanboy and Chum Chum, I'll get you two out of the way. You two were literally playing piano with your noses. Like, that might be the most disgusting thing I have ever seen in my life. You want someone's boogers on the piano? Well, I thought it would be very, very talented. Something different for us all. Really? Yeah, really. Oh my goodness. Honestly, this is not an easy decision for me. All four of you should be ashamed of yourselves. Okay. My decision is Patrick. Your time is done in Grand Theft Auto 2. At least Fanboy and Chum Chum played some kind of notes, even with their noses. And Mikey was at least trying to play while eating pizza. You didn't even bother playing it. you just decide to lick it. Even though some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles chose not to play it, you licked it. They didn't even bother to touch it. So, Patrick, you have any final words before you're out of here?
Good luck, SpongeBob, Squidward, and Sandy.
Alright, let's get into our next challenge. Your next challenge is called bed bouncing. Here's how it works. You guys will be jumping on those bed mattresses right there. And you must jump as high as you can and reach the very top of that bell. Now, this may take a little bit of a while, basically. So, here's how this is going to be working. If you guys can get on, if anybody could get on top of the bell, and the last person who does not get to the top of the bell, last one to touch or does not touch at all, will be eliminated. If we can't get to it, if there isn't a lot of people that can get to the bell, the person who gets to the highest feet or close to the bell will still be safe. This will go on for 24 hours. Best of luck to you all.